serious on this track, fam.
That ball is gonna be out of here. It's gone. It's 7:15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
3-2 Atlanta, 2 men out in the sixth. High and deep to right field. This could be number 300, and it is for Dale Murphy. The 0-2. Red Sox wants it to first.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode number 5 of the Chop Shop podcast. As always, it's your boy TK, joined by my guy, my ace, my dog, Mr. Jermaine JP Powell. Bruh,
Yes, sir.
what's up?
Man, what's going on, man? Feeling good. Another week of Braves baseball to talk about. So,
Bad week.
yeah, we're going to get all into that. But, yeah, we got hopefully this week will be better. But, yeah, we had a bad week.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't, what we wanted, what we expected, wasn't what you predicted.
No.
Yeah, you 0 for 3 now, dog.
Bro.
But it's still early, so it's nothing for you to worry about yet. You got plenty of time to bounce back.
Yeah, I'm in a little slump right now, but I think we're going to get back this week.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's been a bad week,
Yeah.
but we do get to start the show off with good news. And what I'm talking about is we have received the best news possible,
Yes.
concerning our boy, my favorite player, my favorite current Brave, Mr. Ronald Acuña Jr., who, he had the knee injury.
Right.
And he came back and he had, what was it? He had tightness in his groin.
In his groin, uh-huh.
Yeah, he had tightness in it. He tweaked his groin, his right groin, Tuesday against the Red Sox. And, he was feeling discomfort. And he missed the next 3 games. We really saw that in the lineup. But he missed the next 3 games, and the trainers and Snicker and everybody was worried. So they said, hey, let's do an MRI, make sure he's good. And was it last night? We got the news back that he was good. He won't play probably a few more games, but the MRI came back. He didn't have any major damage or anything like that. So right now he's gonna be day to day. So we got to be happy about that.
Yeah, the one thing with the groin, man, I really don't expect to see him probably till this weekend. But the groin, that's an area that's hard to heal, and the only thing that really is going to help it is rest. Especially by him running the outfield and running bases, that's not going to help anything. But Braves Nation got a sigh of relief off of that because we wasn't sure if it was going to be a long DL stint, if it was going to be a major injury or whatever. But the groin is one that is a long healer, but I'm glad that it's day to day now. So I expect him back probably by this weekend series.
So yeah, we getting him back, and we had talked back and forth, back and forth while we was waiting on the results, and you kind of posed the question, so I'm gonna bring it up, even though he's not missing major time, but say for instance he would have had to go on the 30-day or something like that. What would you have done if you was the manager?
Oh man, that's a tough one because right now we're gonna jump into all this later, but the whole team bats have been pretty much ice cold. I mean,
right.
Over the last week or so since our last recording. So I don't know what you really could have done. Who you could have brought in,
Would you have given Drew Waters a shot?
And that's where I was going to go next. Yeah, Drew Waters probably would have been the thing because it's kind of at a point you got to see what you got in the kid because he wanted to be included in a trading prospect. They wasn't going to get rid of him. So at what better point would you bring him up to at least see what you got? At very worst case, you can bring him back to AAA if he's not what you thought he was. But yeah, I definitely would have brought up Drew Waters to see what we got in that kid.
Yeah, now he has been on a tear
Yeah,
since coming off an injury from down in AAA Gwinnett. So I could see that. Um, I also probably would have kicked around the idea of Alex Dickerson. You brought him back. Um, that's another option. I
yeah,
probably would have went with Waters first, and if it looks like he's not ready, then you go back with Dickerson. Um, but other than that, man, like there's not a whole lot left. But you got uh, also you could possibly play William Contreras in right field. Shift Demerit around.
yeah.
Like it's a lot you could have done. They had options, but like you said, everybody bat been cold, so hell, them options ain't ain't really that good.
Yeah, and then like say, we hope Drew Waters come up and prove he's that top prospect like everybody think. But the book on him is the strikeouts. That's been a problem,
Yeah.
coming up through the minor league stuff, 1A, 2A, and where he's at now. So you could only imagine it probably would get worse, facing major league pitching every day. But you just have to give a kid a shot, especially if Acuna was to miss a significant amount of time. And I still wouldn't be against the idea of bringing him up, even with Acuna back.
Oh yeah. So you bring him up. Who you dropping for him?
Oh, you know who I would drop? Rosario will be off the roster right now, but I know he's dealing with an injury right now. But
Yeah, he's on what, the 60 day, I think.
yeah, I'm just kind of interested in see what the kid, what he's got. I kind of want to see what he got. Sometime when people get to the bigger stage, they step up. So,
Yeah.
and we got a
That
lot invested in him. So I kind of want to interest to see what he got, because right now it's not like we got a whole lot of options that's really doing the job right now. And
right.
I know we're
And
gonna get
considering
into it a little bit later, but you're talking about a roller coaster season, man. I'm gonna give you a stat real quick
go ahead.
on this, man. You're looking at how the Braves are up and down right now. We sit in third place in the AL East at 16-19, which is nothing to write home about. But there hasn't been a winning streak longer than 2 games and a losing streak longer than 2 games the whole season so far. What does that tell you?
So what it tells me is they are wildly inconsistent.
That's it.
Um
You hit it on the head.
like seeing how they played, and how they lost, how the pitching has been, and how the hitting and pitching can never be on the same page, it seems. It's still surprising to see us at 16 and 19.
It actually feels worse than 16-19, to be honest
It
with you.
does.
If you're a Braves fan and follow this team like we do, and you watch occasionally, or you watch all the time, if you were to say, take the records out, you didn't know the scores at the end of the game, would you really think the Braves were 16-19 right now? I don't think I would. I really don't.
Nah, you wouldn't. Um, Again, it's just one of them things, man. And to see how we've played against the Mets, and how we showed up against the Brewers, it gives you hope. But at the same time, you're like, man, why can't y'all put 3 or 4 of these together? You know, it's frustrating. But
Very.
again, 16-19, 35 games in, we're not even finished with the first quarter of the season. So we still have, a little time left, but golly, man. Like at some point y'all gotta really string a few of them together, and be consistent on both pitching and hitting. And also they need to play a little better defense, man, because we starting to see multi-era games, and we'll talk about that, especially
Yeah,
this last series, man. It's I just need for them to pull it together before it gets too far out of hand.
correct.
But so we had the good news with Acuna. So let's get to the not so good news. It ain't all bad, but it's not so good. Now, you predicted last week
Mm-hmm.
that it was 5 games, 2 with the Red Sox, 3 with the Padres. They was gonna go what, three and
Three and
two,
two,
right? And we ended up
two
two
and
and
three.
three. So let's start with the Red Sox, man.
Man, the series started off terrible with the Red Sox. First game, I mean, they got the brakes beat off of them pretty much
Ma-
by the Red
Matter
Sox.
of fact, remember we was recording the last episode,
Yeah.
and we was just, who was that? Was it Kyle Wright or was
Yep.
it? Yeah, it was
It was
Kyle
Cal
Wright,
Wright. Yeah.
and we had just talked about Kyle Wright improving, and um, and Ian Anderson. We was talking about both of them, and I said, well, yeah, it's the game has kicked off while we were recording, and I go and check the score,
I
and
think it
it's
was
already
5-0,
6-0.
wasn't it? Yeah,
No,
five or
it's
six
six
nothing.
nothing. So you know, uh, that game was terrible.
Yeah, it was. They were able to split with the Red Sox. They evened it up 1-1. So, I felt I still had a chance. I said we could still take two or three, from the Padres. But because that's what we did on the first, trip out there. We took two or three
Right.
from them at, I believe it's still called Petco Park. So then we come back to Atlanta, and then they take two or three from us. But even though they're struggling a little bit, they still a very dangerous lineup with Machado and crew out there. So, but I still expected the Braves, and I know it was last season. People are gonna say, but I still expect the world champion Braves.
Right.
I'm gonna emphasize that to play better at home. I
Yeah.
mean, I just expect that.
So it's like, especially when you are playing in what my opinion is an inferior team, uh, with the Red Sox.
Hmm.
Like they was on a 5 game skid when they came and you know Rafael Divas dropped the grand slam first, was maybe
Yeah.
first inning, I believe it was. No, second inning, I think. Cal Wright, he pitched four in the third, 6 earned runs. ERA ballooned up to 11 and a half. And what's crazy is he started the game off 3 up, 3 down, had a KSO in the first inning, and
Yep.
he just imploded, man. Um,
I know.
definitely, that first game was terrible. And we talk about good, we talk about bad, and again, that game wasn't all bad. Travis D'Arnaud, he hit a 3-run home run,
Hmm.
and uh, Matt Olson, he hit his league leading at the time 13 double.
Right.
But again, it didn't really matter at the end because they still got their neck smacked off.
Yeah,
But
they did.
I didn't. I was just I was disappointed, man. Because again, the Red Sox not good. They're not. They're not.
They
And I
not.
expected more out of, like you said, the world champion Braves.
If there's any place you're gonna, bow up and be that defending champion, it's at home because everybody know that crowd, but at Truist Park is crazy, especially after last season, and they've always been in the Braves corner. But I was just really shocked to see that they would drop 2 out of 3 to the Padres at home. I mean, I thought it was 3-2 because I gave Padres winning one, and unfortunately, I had the Red Sox winning one. So I mean, I was off one game, but man, those stretches, especially like we talked about earlier, you're hovering right now in third place
Right.
in the AL East at 16-19, which feels like you should be a lot further than what you are, but you can't afford to fall because the Mets are still looking good. So you just can't afford to fall any further. And then coming up, we'll get into it. We got the Marlins on this 6 game road trip. They're
Right.
sitting right behind you at in fourth place with like
And
a game
they've
out.
already cooked us twice.
Exactly. Yeah, we lost 2 out of 3 in that series earlier. So I mean,
Right.
and one of them
So
was a bad loss,
terrible.
like 9-0, I think, or 9-2. So
So
it's awful.
we had game 2 against the Red Sox. That was that was Ian Anderson. And we had we talked about him. He came in, he gave up 3 runs on 7 hits, pitching
Right.
5 and a third. They having a hard time going 6 innings, man. That has been like the reoccurring theme for me is seeing how our starting pitchers seem to be having trouble going 6. That's what you want, at least 6. 4 and a third, 4 and 2/3, 5 and a third, 5 and 2/3. No, we need to get 6 out of you.
Right, and then this much improved bullpen, you don't really get to see it because usually we're in a hole, 4 and 1 innings, 4.1 innings pitched, 3 point so and so innings pitched. So the bullpen is not intended what it was there, what it's created to do. You're already in a hole. So yeah, pitching has been just as bad as the bats lately. And if the Braves are going to turn this around, which I really truly believe that they can,
Yeah,
it's got to start with this road trip.
yeah, it has to. Now, to close out that game, I think we was talking when that game was on, and I was like, man, they losing again. I'm not even about to watch the rest of this. And
I know.
and lo and behold, Orlando Arcia
Hmm.
hit the game winning 2-run home run, which was crazy because that he had started in over 2 weeks. I think his last
Right.
start was May 3rd, something like that. But he hit the game winning home run, and he's not what you consider a power hitter.
No.
Because you look at him last year. He was with the Brewers as well. So he had 81 at bats last season between the Brewers and the Braves, and he hit only 2 home runs. So that was a surprising twist. And they talked about they interviewed him, of course, after the game, and he was even surprised himself that he started,
Yeah.
as a DH. So, if we can get more pleasant surprises like that out of everybody, man, I think we'll be fine. But again, the bats are anemic.
Yeah.
The pitching is struggling, and it's still early, but once you start getting into 50, 60 games, you starting to feel like, hey, they are what they are.
Yeah. And then that Padre series, man, it's not a whole lot to talk about that series. Dropped 2 out of 3 to them.
Yep. Yeah. Game 1, they lose 11 to 6.
Yeah, 11-6. Yeah.
They lost 11-6. I think Matt Olson hit a home run in the first game. No, that was game 2. He hit the home run because there was really nothing good about game 1.
No.
Game 2, he hit the home run, but then he gave up that back-breaking error that led to 4 unearned runs for the Padres.
Yeah, and he's known as a defensive first baseman. Actually, that was one of the perks of having him come in over Freddie Freeman, even though, of course, he's younger. That's the number one perk. And he's a little bit cheaper, but defense is the big thing that stood out. And the differences between him and Freddie was he's a better defender. But that was kind of uncharacteristic to see an error like that caused so many runs that.
Right. And
yeah.
we talked about, that him and his defense, first episode, and how we were hyped up about that, having a Gold Glove caliber first baseman who also has a bat. Now he doesn't hit for average, but he does hit for power, can drive runs in. So
Right.
the defense was the icing on the cake, but shit, you can't have that, man. When you struggling like they are, you can't afford to give up things like that. I think he had an error. Albies had an error.
Yeah.
That game. And what really hurt me about that game too was the fact that Charlie Morton looked like the Charlie of old instead of old Charlie.
He really did. We wasted that one.
Yeah, 9 Ks, 1 earned run, and they blew it. flat out blew it.
It's like we can't be on at the same time. If the pitcher is doing great, then the bats have went south. If the bats are doing great, pitcher went south. Sometimes both of them have went south. So I mean,
Yeah, like
we
that.
can't get right.
We just need a good 10-game series, 10-game stretch where we get good pitching, we get good hitting at the same, in the same games.
Mm-hmm.
Like put together a nice string of wins. Because, like you said, no more than two victories in a row. Like we can't. We need 4, 5, 6 in a row
Yeah.
to really, pull it together, man. And it's just not happening. But we talked about Morton, and he's 38 years old, and
Right.
we talked about how, as a matter of fact, in the buy or sell, we was like, well, has Ian Anderson surpassed Charlie Morton as the number 2 in the rotation? And then Charlie, like, he must have heard us, like, now hold on, my all this talk of my demise has been premature. He came
Yeah.
out and dropped the gem,
He did.
and they wasted it. So I don't know where we go from here, man. Like they playing tonight, but and once we get off of here, I'm gonna tune in to see what's what. But
Oh yeah, definitely.
all in all, they just gotta play better, man.
Better kicking off this 6-game road trip, man. It's imperative.
Yeah, the matter of fact, it's end of the first 0-0 against the Brewers again. Who we got on the mound tonight? It's Ian Anderson. And he's so far he has 1K, 1 walk, 26 pitches, 15 of them strikes. He kills me with this high pitch count and this high ball. Like if he could just pull it together.
So basically, a half inning, you have 26 pitches in a half inning.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
20,
that's another reason we're not lasting the 6th inning. So,
and he's only giving up 1 hit, so it's not like they a lot of people batting around.
Yeah.
He's just he's going to too many full counts, man. It makes no sense.
Wow, 26 pitches in a half inning. That's crazy.
Yeah. So we'll see. Well, let's get to my my favorite.
Mine too.
My favorite part of the podcast, which is buy or sell. Buy or sell.
I'm at 35 down, 40, 40, now 5 at a down, better down, 45, 45 at a down, better down, 50, I'm at 45 at a down, better down, 50, sold.
So we gonna start off. Let's start off with the catcher situation. Now, last few games, we've gotten some good, a lot of good out of catchers, a lot of bad. William Contreras and Travis D'Arnaud. So, are you buying or selling that the Braves has the best catcher group in Major League Baseball, or one of the best in Major League Baseball?
I'm going to buy it, and I'm also going to go with your option of one of the best. And the reason being, most teams operate with one dominant catcher and usually don't bring somebody else up until, that catcher is hurt, or if they do have another catcher on the roster, he's fairly in between starts and you don't even know who he is. But I think we have the two. We have a versatile, with Contreras being the better defender, of course, out of the two. But he has shown flashes of power, too. He's only got 6 hits on the year out of 26 at-bats, but 6 of those hits have went over the fence for a home run. So you're thinking about 6 hits and 4 of them are homers. That's pretty good if he get a little bit more consistent at the plate. But then, he's the backup. And he's also versatile enough. He can play right field. I think even a little first base if you need him to. And he can DH.
Yeah.
But then the starter, Travis Leonard, I think he's in the early running for best catcher right now, the NL, because he's has 35 hits on the year, and with 3 homers. He's never been a huge powers guy.
Hmm.
He's not going to hit a lot of homers, but he's been very consistent at the plate. He's the better offensive player at this point, but of course, he's going to get the majority of the starts being the starter. But you think about if he needs a break or you can bring again Contreras, he's the better defensive, maybe even late game replacement that you can come in. I think the Braves do have the best catching situation in the NL, or if not one of the best.
So I'm a take everything you said in consideration, and I'm gonna buy it too
Yeah.
because of everything you said. Contreras, he's versatile. Um, he can play, like you said, play right field, DH. But I like the fact that we've played 35 games.
Mm-hmm.
He's caught 11 of them,
Right.
right? Um, and once the season starts weighing down, like we getting into 100 games or whatever. Having the ability to give your dominant catcher rest and get production out of that
Yeah,
is
production.
is big. Um, and then like you said, Travis Leonard, he has 30 some hits, 4 home runs as well. But what I like about him is that he gonna throw your ass out like a bouncer at a club.
Yeah.
Like right now, he's tied for first in Major League Baseball with 7 caught stealing. So you get on base, which a lot of people doing because of the pitching just ain't it. But you can try him if you want to,
Oh yeah. It's probably
and
not going to end well for
it's
you. And
probably not going to end well for you. Messing with him. So yeah, I do think that they're probably not the best, but collectively you know what, they might be, man. Because if you look at it,
they complement each other, I think.
yeah, you look at it, you got 8 home runs. I think 9 putouts, 10 maybe, a decent average. Got hitting for power, driving in a few runs. So collectively, they like Mike Piazza.
They are, and this is evident if you go back to last year, Braves country. I know that they was watching that. If you go back to last year when Leonard, before the playoffs, he was on the injured list for quite a while. He came back right before the playoffs started, and Contreras came in and actually played a lot of that time well. Especially as a young kid getting a lot of playing time then. But of course, when playoff came, Leonard took back over, and
Right.
Leonard actually was an unsung hero during those playoff runs too. He came up with a lot of clutch, timely hits. But the point I was making, you saw it last year when Leonard went down that Contreras was actually stepped in and was able to produce. Of course, the numbers may not have been the same offensive wise, but to have a catcher that can come in, like you said, and spell him for a couple of games so he can be fresh for the playoffs is that's great. I don't know many teams that have 2 catchers that they have that much trust in.
Right. I agree. Um, and Leonard, he's slacked off a little bit because I think at the time we were talking about this, he was like hitting maybe 299, shade over
Hmm.
300. But again, he has the 3 home runs, he has 15 RBIs, so
Hmm.
we're getting quality production out of our catchers. So yeah, we both gonna buy that.
Yeah, we buying
We
him.
both buy it. All right. Up next, we got Marcel Ozuna. Now he started off the season. Well, let me pose a question for those who not watching but hearing us. Buy or sell? It is time to sit Marcel Ozuna.
I'm gonna jump in on this first, and I'm gonna say sell. Because he started out the season hot, then he fell off a cliff. But the last couple of games, he actually has picked it up, man. He's starting to kind of show shades of what he was doing in the first part of the season, and kind of where he picked off, before he had to sit the whole year out because of the domestic case that he had going on. But I'm
Right.
gonna say sell. I'm not ready to pull the plug on him just yet.
Now we talked about him and his domestic case, and we both agreed that he was probably the biggest wild card.
Yeah.
And I think maybe by episode 2, episode 3, we both was like, man, he really making us look smart as hell. And then, Buddy fell off a cliff, man.
Did he?
And I'm I'm on the fence right now.
Yeah.
Cause a part of me is like, you know what? Yeah, it's time to sit his ass. But then you look around and it's like, yeah, I could sit him, but who the hell I'm gonna put in there?
I can't quite do it yet.
But he's not giving a whole lot
He's
in
not.
the field. His arm ain't what it is, and he's not hitting for average.
No.
He's just a pure power hitter, but like not much more. So
I'm gonna make an interesting comparison for all my baseball fans out there, and I know you're a big movie guy too, TK. So we're gonna go back to the movie Major League. You've seen the movie Major League, I know.
yeah,
So he's almost that Pedro Serrano type guy to me. You remember him, the
yeah.
the outfielder that can hit for power, that can crush the ball.
Praying to Jobu.
Joe Boo. That's who he was. That's who he reminds me of. I wish he could be like the permanent DH because, like you say, I don't really trust his glove in the outfield. He doesn't give you a whole lot. He's kind of a liability in a way in the outfield. But if you're going to play him, I'd rather him be the permanent DH. But he's that Pedro Serrano type guy to me. He's boom or bust. You're going to get a power hitter or you're going to get some strikeouts or some terrible takes on it because when he's up there, he's swinging.
Oh my God, man.
Pedro Ozuna. That's who that is.
You know what, man? I'm buying.
Okay.
I'm buying after I think about it. He's batting 206, bro.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the last, couple of games,
Yeah.
he would be below 200. So
I can't argue with
you
you there.
look at his numbers for the month of May, he is 6 for 50. 6 for 50, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, 4 base on balls, 13 strikeouts.
Maybe we need a Joe Boo statue or something.
we need something. Like he's hitting 120 for the month, man.
Ooh,
And
20 points over the Mendoza line, huh?
yeah.
Jesus.
And when he started the season off, he caught hot. Like a 5, 6, 7 game stretch. We was like, okay. He's doing his thing, and he's gone down every game since.
Every game.
And yeah, I'm definitely buying that shit, man.
You may be right, but I'm gonna stick with him at least another.
Because I think the only thing that's saving him, maybe for you and other people who may feel differently, is that you really don't have a lot of people who you can put there who,
Right.
may strike fear at somebody because of the power that he's shown. But golly, man, you can't bat 206 and not play defense.
Yeah, something got to give. You're right.
Something has got to give. So we gonna see.
Okay.
All right. So now my final one.
Okay.
Travis Demerit is is the best Brave right now.
Right now, buying. Yeah, at this given recording, yes, he's the best Brave right now. Although Olsen is still leading the league, not the league. He's leading the Braves with a 262 average. But yeah, he's the best Brave right now. He's batting 7-19 on the year so far. Came in with a lot of clutch hits. Versatile player. Yeah, he's the best Brave right now at the time of the recording. Yes, bye.
So I can rock with that. Um, but what really got him for me is that his defense, man.
Yes.
He has shown tremendous defense.
Mm-hmm.
He's made some nice catches. You know, he's shown the ability to play well, in the outfield. And I'm showing y'all his diving catch here. Let me go back in. Let me go back and show y'all this. Oh, here it is. So like he's shown a nice defensive prowess.
Right.
He's also shown that he can hit the ball. So I do I do like him as being the best Brave right now.
Yeah, right. Let's emphasize right now. But I'm also tell you who the Braves wanted him, who the Braves wanted to be like him. And I'm gonna go back actually to last year, a trade that we just made that brought Matt Olson over here when we traded Christian Passe. Remember him? He was the heralded minor leaguer that we had. We brought him up to play center fielder. All the defensive skills were there, but he couldn't hit through a wet paper bag. But
Right.
that's who the Braves wanted Christian Pache to be. Is who he is now. With the defense, baby to hit, but he had one and not the other. But I think this kid, man, if we can kind of stick with him and he continues to show signs of that, maybe that's your outfielder that puts Ozuna in the DH spot permanently, especially
I'm
with a healthy Acuña back.
I'm you know what? I'm hoping you're right here. If we being honest, man. Like, could you imagine if he continues to blossom,
Correct.
continues to pick up the defense. I could see, and maybe not this year, maybe next year. So him, Acuna and Waters in the
Hmm.
outfield.
And as the rotational guy, I still wouldn't mind having Adam Duvall.
Yeah,
As a
yeah.
rotational guy, maybe not the
Or
starter, but
or at some point you just make Duval your DH.
yeah,
That's if he stick around because he's in arbitration, so this might be
yeah, it
the
might be it
last
for
year
him.
for him. So
And we was counting on Ed Rosario to be that third outfielder. I know, man. I know. I mean, man,
he's let everybody down.
Alex Anthopoulos, man, we can't. I can't really roast him because we had that tough decision we talked about before. With Soler, uh, my boy that went to Padres. and Rosario, you had to pick one. We knew only one of them was coming. And, when they picked Rosario, you couldn't be mad with that, especially the way he performed in the playoffs, the Dodger series especially. So you,
Yeah,
you really couldn't be mad with that outcome. Although my personal favorite was Jock Peterson, not just because of, his attributes, but his swag that he brought. And we touched on that one time before.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
like I'm not mad that they brought him back for all the reasons you said.
yeah.
But I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed in what we
Golly.
have gotten, from Rosario. But we'll see, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hopefully they pull it together, man, because we need all hands on deck. Like I would love for everybody to, get right. Demary to keep doing what he's doing. Acuna get healthy. Ozuna pick up the pace.
Right.
Albies pick up the pace. Dansby, Damn Swanson pick it up. All the pitchers, like
And
those
he's leading the
one,
team in RBI, Swanson,
yeah,
believe it or not.
yeah. But he'll show you something, and then he'll show you absolutely nothing too.
Yeah.
Um, you know, like the only one that's been real consistent is Kenley Jansen. He's picked up 2 wins though, last 3 or 4 games. Uh, Pitching the inning in the third, inning 2/3. Like
And he shouldn't be picking up wins.
he should
So
right. When your bench closer picking up wins, damn it, you got a problem. And we need to get that, rectified real damn soon, man.
yeah.
Real soon. So Yeah, man. I do love doing this.
Oh, I love it.
Buy or sell, and for those of you who watching and listening, comment what you want to see. What's a buy or sell topic y'all want to talk about? Because
Correct.
there's a lot that could be be said. But that's like I said, that's one of my favorite segments of
Mm-hmm.
the podcast.
Right.
And now we have another segment that I like, which is the biggest bombs of the week. Well, we'll highlight the home runs of the series that we previously covered,
Right.
and you tell me which one you think is the best. So I'm gonna put those up real quick,
All right.
and we gonna see what's what. So hold on a second. God damn it.
Got to get into these road trips coming up too, man. The 6-game road trip probably take us through the next time we do our recording. Very crucial stretch right there. 3 of them are division opponents. So,
Yeah.
and the other one is the NL opponent, which is come playoff time.
Right. So yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to this road trip. But
Man, that's a cool graphic, man. It look like the ball Soler hit to win the World Series.
67.
Shit, I wish it was.
He hit that to your house, huh?
Yeah. So first up, we got Travis DeMayer with his 2-run bomb.
Right.
And then
There he goes.
up next, we got Marcel.
Oh, yeah, that was a monster.
Marcel strikeout Ozuna with his 2-run bomb. And then finally we have Mr. Orlando Arcel with the game-winning shot, walk-off home run, 2-run home run, bottom of the 9th inning to win the game.
That's it right there. That's mine. I'm gonna tell you right now before we even jump into it. That's mine because it won the game, and I mean he's an unheralded player, and that's it right there. That was the shot, man. Because I thought we were dead in the water at that game. To be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. But I mean, I still had to show it because one, I went through the whole process of collecting this footage and put it together. But yeah, man, like this week it wasn't even close.
No, that was it.
And I think any walk-off game winner will always be the bomb of the week. So yeah, shout out to Orlando and being our first inaugural bomb of the week winner. We ain't got nothing to sing you, but shout out to
come on the show and talk to us. How about
yeah.
that?
Oh, that'll be everything right there.
I'm on Twitter. I put it out there.
So we talked about the bomb of the week, and
right.
And we also got another segment that we like to do, which is turned into one of my favorites as well, which is talking about Atlanta Braves prospects.
Yeah.
And this week we have a new prospect because the last 2 or 3 has been
Harris.
Yeah, has been
deservedly
Harris.
so.
Yeah, and rightfully so, man. But this week we have a new entry into the fray, and it's none other than the number 7 Braves prospect, Mr. Vaughn Grissom.
Yeah.
Now, the name is familiar. The
Yep,
last name
especially in the Brave
Grissom.
country.
It's fresh in Braves country, but that ain't his son. That's not Marquise Grissom's boy. But you know, we still got love for him strictly off of the name. But we gonna get into him. So this week, Marquise had a pretty big game, man. He was a double away from hitting for the cycle.
Wow.
He's down in high A ball, and he's doing pretty good, man. You know, he's an 11 round pick. Was 2019, I believe. He's
Wow,
a
he
young
crushed that
kid.
one.
Yeah, he crushed. No, he's 21. Yeah, he's 21. Um, and he had a monster game, man. This is his first. He hit his first triple of the season.
Kid looks like a Brave. He just looks like a Brave.
Yeah, he looks like a Brave. Um, and he doing his thing, man. He has this. He's getting some of the same excitement that Acuña had, and,
Yeah,
and same excitement that Michael Harris is having. A lot of people starting to pay attention to this kid, man, and he's
yeah.
doing his thing.
In a lot of Braves circles and groups and things I belong to, I've been hearing a lot about this kid over the last couple of weeks.
Now, I can't wait. I want to see him in person. I can't wait till they get to he gets bumped up to Double A ball,
Yeah, I'm actually gonna
and
catch a few games up there.
yeah, we can actually catch him. I'm trying to come to Mississippi soon so I could actually um catch a couple games.
Yes,
That'd
sir.
be that'd be cool, to get out there with him and actually see him live and do an episode right there, which would be
Yeah, I got a couple things to tell you about that. I'll tell you on that. But yeah, I like everything I see about this kid. I like the power. I like the confidence that he has. And the Braves over the years have had a really good, field of getting good outfielders.
yeah,
So I think this kid, he probably about maybe 2 or 3 years away, depending on how fast he progresses
yeah,
through the minor leagues. But I mean, the future's looking good. Acuna is young. He's
yep,
not going anywhere for a while. You got your core team that's still in place, and then hopefully Travis can keep playing as well as he is, and maybe make Osuna expendable if he don't pick it up to do any better. So I like where the future is right now with the Braves prospects.
yeah. And again, like you said, this kid looking good. Right now he's batting 303, 22 RBIs. He has 13 walks, 8 extra base hits, and he has struck out only 16 times in 27 games.
That's awesome.
So shout out to him, man. Like you said, man, the future's looking bright. We got a nice form going on, man,
We
and,
do.
and I think once things settle down, we gonna add more wrinkles to the podcast and do us a top 30 or top 50 or whatever prospects. I think that'll be cool to talk about.
Yep.
Now, my other favorite part is coming up. You talked about the 6 game
Yep.
road trip, and tonight we got the Brewers,
Yep.
and up next after Milwaukee, we got a 3 game
Yep.
stay
Three
with
game
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Three
So
games
we
in
got
Miami.
yep Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against Milwaukee, Friday, Saturday, Sunday against Miami. 6 games. Give me a quick preview, real quick. What you looking for in this one?
Man, Milwaukee. We took 2 out of 3 of those from the first time we faced them in Truist Park in Atlanta. But you got to think 2 of those games we probably shouldn't have got, but we'll take it. So the Brewers are gonna be mad. They're gonna be out for revenge, and it's gonna be at Milwaukee. Right now, the Brewers are first place in the NL Central. So I mean, they're not their lineup is loaded as well. So pretty good pitching staff. I usually try to be optimistic, but right now, man, I'm gonna be realistic. I think we win 1 out of 2 in this series. I do. I just don't see us win this series. I think we get 1 out of 2 at Milwaukee. Then, we go from there. Like you said, we have a day of rest, go to Miami. Miami is sitting right behind us. So if we screw around this series, they're going to be sitting in third and we're going to be behind them. So I'm going to look at going 2-3 from the Marlins. We always normally have a history of playing well in Miami. So I think we'll go 2-3, and Acuña's not going to be there probably. So
Yep.
maybe he won't get beamed with the ball because there's some bad history and blood between him and the Marlins
Right.
for some odd reason. So maybe he'll come back that series. I don't expect to see him in Milwaukee series, but yeah.
So your prediction is that on this 6-game trip, we're gonna go 3-3.
3-3, yeah. I think we're gonna go even. That's my realistic position. Optimistic is 4-2, but I'm gonna say 3-3. They playing too
I'm gonna sell that.
inconsistent. You gonna sell it?
I know this ain't the same
You
segment.
selling it?
I think we're gonna go 4-2.
What?
I just got a feeling that we gonna go 4-2,
Now
man.
look, I'm not mad at that at all.
I think
hope
we're gonna
we do
sweep the
go
Marlins.
4-2. Yeah.
I think this will be the trip where we actually win more than 2 in a row, and we're gonna sweep the Miami Marlins.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm buying it if I can buy it. I'm definitely buying that with you.
So
if I can buy it, I'm buying it.
So we got folks, we got the Brewers up now. Matter of fact, we're on the bottom of the third. 0-0.
Yeah.
Braves have given up 3 hits, got 1 error. So
Yeah,
that was still up in the air. So we got 2
we
more
jump
this
off
year.
here. I'm going on that, man. Because
I'm going
it's
straight
imperative.
through.
We got to get off to a good start. Now, I know we're getting ready to wrap this thing up, but I want to say this, man, about the show. I've had a couple people reach out to me, and if you don't know, TK will tell you we on all different formats, pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts and everything. I know Anchor we're on there, so look out for it. But I had somebody tell me something that kind of sat well with me, and I really appreciate it. And what we're doing, we're gonna grow this thing like TK say. We just getting started. But I had a guy reach out and say, man, I'm a big Braves fan. I work. I got kids, do the whole family thing, like pretty much everybody else is doing. But he said that I'm a big Braves fan. I can't watch all the time like I want to. He said, but I've been watching your guys' show or listening to it on my way to work. And he said that's the way I actually get to catch up for games that I missed and things that I didn't know. He said he didn't even know about the kid Michael Harris down. And he said that he really appreciated the show, listening, that he was able to catch up on the recap and he was able to learn about it. He said he looked up the kid and was like, without us saying it, he didn't know anything about him. And I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, and see that's why it's important to me. Like, I don't want to just talk about the previous week's games. Like, I want to, of course, that's the basis of the episode, but I like to throw in different things, man, and touch stuff for everybody, man. And I baseball is, the farm systems are very important.
Correct.
That causes a lot of trades to go through or fall through. and I think it's very important. And I want everybody to know about the Braves from bottom to the top, man. And
you're right.
That I think it'll make us all better fans.
And that's another reason to listen to us. Of course, we want you to listen anyway, but that's another reason to listen, man, is because, like, I understand, everybody don't have time to watch the game, the whole games like you want to, or whatever the case is, but we're going to give you a recap. We're going to give you solid information. And like he said, when I thought about that, I said, wow, that's pretty cool. He can just pop in on his way to work and be like, okay. And I didn't even know this guy. This was just somebody, I posted on one of my sites that I'm on, and he responded back, was like, keep up what y'all doing. I'm like, okay, cool. So
right. It's I love it, man. I love it.
And it's only gonna get better from here.
It's only gonna get better, man. And I don't really have anything else to add, to the show, man. I think that's a good way to close it out. So, like Jermaine said, JP said, you can find us something everywhere. We on Anchor, we on Spotify, we on Google.
Yes, sir.
Podcast. And after we upload this 5th episode, we'll be on Apple.
Right.
We're also on Twitch. We're also on Facebook, and we are on YouTube as well. So whether you listen to it audio or you
Right.
can watch us visually, we got something for you. So I hope that you guys tune in. I hope you
Me
continue to support and share and follow and just spread the word, man, because we love it.
Yes,
And
sir.
we would love to reach out and touch as many people as possible with this Braves baseball talk. So
Yeah, and
salute.
I, man, I'm gonna just say, like you say, you closed it out perfectly. I look forward to seeing you guys next week, man. I'm ready.
As always, chop on.
Yes, sir. Chop on.